Louis Purrton grew up in a small town where people were always leaving. He learned early that if you couldn't carry your own things, you lost them. His trunk held everything he owned. So when the time came, he chose the road instead of staying. Staying never felt right to him. Moving forward did. He worked wherever travelers passed through, taking jobs to keep going. At night, he fixed whatever broke during the day. He noticed the same thing every time. Corners failed first. And that road eventually led him to the city. The city didn't notice him at all. Everything moved faster than he was used to. Doors closed again and again. Hunger forced him to pay close attention. He carried heavy trunks for travelers. Some treated him as if he didn't matter. He stopped watching people and started watching luggage.
Oh heavens, look at that!
When trunks failed, embarrassment followed.
It's ruined. Everything is everywhere.
He remembered every break he saw. Failure became his teacher. He found a real workshop where things were made properly. He asked for a chance to work. The answer was simple: start working. He started at the bottom and stayed there. He watched every move carefully. Others noticed beauty. He focused on structure. At night, he sketched ways to improve the work. No one paid attention to his ideas. He stayed and kept working anyway. When he left, he took real knowledge with him. He rented a small room and set up a table. It wasn't much, but it was enough. He used leftover materials others didn't want. Strength mattered more than looks. When something broke, he studied why. Then he fixed it and tried again. Eventually, one trunk held together. He chose not to sell it yet. He tested it himself, day after day. It came back worn, but still intact. The marks and scars showed the trunks could handle real travel. The first buyer didn't argue about the price. Louis didn't either. The trunk left, but the standard stayed. More customers followed after that. No one needed an explanation. Customers were willing to wait. Prices slowly went up. People stopped asking for trunks. They asked for Louis. His reputation arrived quietly. Over time, clear patterns began to appear. He built the corners first, every time. The strongest parts were hidden inside. Failures became rare. He marked his work quietly. Trunks returned from long travel still intact. No words were necessary. Orders continued to grow. He worked on trunks meant to travel far first. No trunk left until it was fully ready. He refused work that wasn't strong enough. Others began to notice the difference. Mistakes were corrected and brought back. His way of working started to spread. Copies didn't hold up for long. Good quality didn't need attention. Customers came back for the real thing. He showed what worked instead of explaining it. Trust slowly replaced bargaining. His standards didn't need signs or rules. Work continued to pile up in the workshop. Waiting became a normal part of the process. The pressure on him slowly increased. He chose not to rush or grow carelessly. Longer journeys mattered most when planning his work. Unfinished trunks were sent back without hesitation.
Louis cannot compromise on the standards, friend. Quality craftsmanship takes time, and we stand by our work.
I understand the principle.
Others defended his standards, even when he wasn't there. Good practices began spreading on their own. The weight of his work felt right in his hands. He stayed steady while everything else moved faster. Time slowly showed in his hands and posture. Years of craft shaped who he became. His work traveled farther than he ever did. When it returned, it was still whole. Fewer words were needed anymore. The process now led every decision. Shortcuts failed sooner or later. The weight of a trunk told the truth.
Louis Purrton.
His name came to mean quality. He never felt the need to show it. Distance became the final test of his work. His standards sped beyond his workshop. The work continued, even when he wasn't there. His name remained long after he stepped away. He didn't build a brand, he built a way of working. Additional benches were added as the work increased. The method stayed the same, even as others joined. Orders became larger and more frequent. The name Louis Purrton became a way of working. The workshop settled into a lasting place. The method moved beyond one street. Quality began enforcing itself. Materials improved, but the process didn't change. Records were kept to protect consistency. The workshop grew into a house. Distance returned in greater numbers. The first bench was kept untouched. And the standard endured.